Here comes the nasty gram.
Send a priest to save my soul, forget it.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram D&D podcast, Halloween Spectacular 2024. This is Horror House of Aberations, Part 1.
Heart is the poison to the heart of a cynic.
Welcome back to the Nasty Gram Dungeons and Dragons podcast for a spooktacular Halloween special. I'll be your crypt keeper and dungeon master, Jake.
Hey, this is Ryan. I'll be playing Annabelle Wren, the crack shot of the mansion.
Annabelle Wren. Love it. Of course, Wren. Ryan, back from the dead, returned to us.
Hey, this is Devin. I'll be playing Johann Rye of Rye's Provisions.
Hey guys, this is John. I am playing Locke, the Asimir bard with the voice from the heavens.
What's good, fam? Matt bringing up the caboose. I'll be playing Colton Braith, the barbarian soldier.
Cool. And I told these guys as a sort of primer that, we're going to be playing in, we don't need a lot of detail about the world because it's just a one shot. But I said kind of imagine like early 1800s technology level. So something a little different than we're used to. But I just happened to notice the new player's handbook had guns in it. So I figured we'd make that an option.
Hell yeah.
But other than that, typical kind of D&D fantasy world. I also told them the general premise of what was happening is that the four of them are a team. They have known each other for a while, and they are thieves, not necessarily rogues, but thieves who have heard a rumor that this abandoned house out in the countryside contains a vault. Specifically, what you heard is that there is a secret room in the house. No one has been able to figure out how to get into that room, but it's said that it contains a vault which contains untold riches. And each of you, for whatever reason, have your own reasons for needing to be here, but you've come to this house. Now, the other thing you know about this house is that other people have gone in trying to find these riches, and no one has come out. Except for one man who is in an asylum, raving insane. So, should be easy. Shouldn't be a problem.
Sounds super easy.
Okay, cut. Insert cool, like, cut scene if we're going to make this into a podcast someday. Listeners right now are going, where's that cool cut scene?
Can I get the character names again, RT?
Annabelle Wren.
Annabelle.
This is when we'll be we'll put our ad in there too for
Devin.
Wren.
Johann. Everyone calls him Rye. Rye's Provisions.
Rye bread? Like rye?
Yes. Okay. Like the whiskey. John, your Locke.
Locke. Matt.
Colton Braith.
We see a very large covered wagon being pulled by two horses, making its way down a road at night, full moon silhouetting it as it comes down this path. On the side of the wagon, we see Rye's Provisions. We hear some arguing from inside the wagon. We can see that there's a lantern lit inside. And sitting up on top, the driver's position, is Johann, steering this wagon towards a large mansion that sits on a hill about a half a mile in the distance. What does Johann look like?
Johann is petite. He has this big hat that like droops down in the front when he's traveling. It almost casts like a shade over his whole body. He sits sort of huddled up, but he has a nice blue coat, tan pants, in big tall boots,
Nice.
and he's whistling as he goes.
You're whistling along with the melody of the music that's coming out of the wagon. What kind of music is that, John?
You hear very kind of discordant notes, song being hummed. He's not fully singing a song. He's just kind of going along with a bit of a morose melody as we kind of trottle down this weathered road in this awful weather.
I imagine the camera sort of stays in one place as the wagon goes by. We see Johan on top, and then we see a little window, and through that window we see Locke. What does Locke look like?
Locke is sitting kind of leaned back a little bit on the couch, and his legs are crossed with a lute, kind of lazily sitting on top, strumming at this instrument. He has very elegant clothing on, a long oil, like what would be normal people would wear this like oil cloak for the weather, is more of a showpiece of a cloak. It's a deep purple with some gold inlay and filigree. His hat, which is not on because he's inside, it's sitting next to him, has a beautiful feather that comes off of it, and it's like one of those a fedora type hat that just sits next to him while he strums at his. And he has this like dark skin and like silvery hair, kind of long hair.
Awesome. And then as the wagon sort of goes by, we see the window opposite there. We see Annabelle sitting across from Locke.
Annabelle is tall and slight, Pharisee, looks like you would think that when she fired a musket, like she would get blown back about like a couple dozen feet.
See that 8 strength on the character sheet?
Yeah. And she looks really perturbed that Locke is playing his lute again.
Okay. Hold on. John?
Yeah.
What's your strength?
8.
Devin?
8.
Ryan?
It's dumb stat.
8.
Matt?
Teen.
When
18.
When you're raging, do you have our combined strength almost? Like it's
As the wagon rolls by, we see Colton sitting on top of it, looking up at the stars. There's not enough room in there for you.
No. Colton is a big boy. 6'2". He's not like thick, but he's well built, but you can tell he probably skipped a couple of leg days here and there. He's definitely more on top.
Upper.
Yeah. Than he is on the bottom.
show muscles. Yeah.
He's got just sort of like relatively basic black traveling pants, leather boots. He's got a big black like poncho over him, and underneath you can see that there's a breastplate. And as the light from the moon shines on his face, you can see that he's fucking gorgeous. Like bone structure is flawless. Big, beautiful cheekbones, solid eyes, nice big nose. There's only one flaw. He's got a relatively significant underbite. So like, when you start at the top, it looks good. And then you get to the mouth and it's like, what the?
But they keep looking, looks good.
Yeah, he's got to just
grow
skip that.
He's got to grow a big beard or something.
He's tried. It comes in real like weird and white trashy. So it hasn't.
When COVID happens, he's gonna fucking slay.
Yes. Yes. And on his back, he has it's like a 5-foot long pole with a short chain at the end of it, and dangling from that chain is like another 6-inch piece of wood that has like all of these stones and like pieces of metal just kind of set in it.
Awesome. Colton, as you're up there, you see a horse gallop by, going the opposite direction. Devin, Johan sees this as well. A horse with a saddle, no rider, just kind of trots by quickly through the mud.
You think that it was invisible? Hey, invisible guy!
I don't think he's invisible, my friend. The horse. Sometimes a horse is just a horse.
I don't
of
think
course.
there's anybody on it.
Johann, you're getting closer to that house now, and you see another horse. This one's been tied to a tree, about 100 feet from the house itself. There's this large, sort of gangly tree. You actually see a couple random pieces of rope just hanging off of some of the branches, but there is a horse that is tied to it and looks like it's almost struggling, trying to get loose. You're pretty perceptive. As you get a little closer, you notice a tree branch that has been broken off, and you think the other horse was probably tied to that as well. But it's a good place as any to park the wagon under this tree.
Johann stops the cart and then stands up in his seat. And he brushes the coat aside. He reaches behind his back. And then in one motion, he flings a heavy, like knife, big dagger, test of skill. He's trying to cut the rope.
The rope holding the horse to the tree?
Yes.
Make an attack roll.
It's a bonus action.
You're going to aim.
Take aim.
Okay. New ability.
18's on both.
On both.
For a 24.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, you cut it clean. The dagger hits the tree and sticks. The horse immediately kind of bucks up and then runs away.
Annabelle, you look particularly dour today. We're about to be rich, don't you see?
Does anyone have handle animal as a trained skill?
Yeah, it's negative.
No? Okay.
Just jack of all.
I mean, I'd be a little more upbeat if you played some more songs about stews. You know any stew songs?
I do not know any stew songs.
Well, the best songs are about stews.
I'm not so sure about that.
You hear a
Oh, have we arrived?
no answer.
Well, after you, milady. He kind of grabs his hat and
Matt,
swings his
Colton
loop
stands
behind.
up on top of the wagon. You get a good view of the house from up on top of the wagon. You thought it'd be bigger. There's a lot of large, old kind of houses like this around here. It almost think southern sort of plantation with the big pillars in front, you know, like the long kind of porch, but all like rows of pillars, 3-story big rectangle, basically. The windows are these sort of Gothic arched windows. On the upper levels, they're just normal windows, but on the lower levels, they're these big arched windows with stained glass. And you actually see lights on in a few of the rooms. The rest of you, as you get out of the wagon or tie up the horses, you get a good look at this house as well.
Well, looks like somebody's home.
Astute observation, my friend.
Who? Who's this?
The Winthrum estate. Whole lot of bother for something so paltry, don't you think?
There's chickens in there?
No, poultry. That poor beautiful man.
I am hungry.
No need to negotiate with them, Locke. Rye's walking over. He's buttoning his, walking over from the tree. He's collected his dagger and he's buttoning his coat. He takes that big floppy hat off and he has this sort of sweeping brown golden hair. He says, sometimes a horse is just a horse. They left the lights on. Ever-burning magical lanterns are commonplace, especially among the wealthy. Come on.
Oh, so no chicken?
No chicken, my friend. But
If you tell him there's chicken in there, he might just bust in.
you know what? There might be some chicken in there. Maybe some magical chicken.
Rye has taken something off of the cart, on the side of the cart.
All right.
That's my carpenter's tool usage
Cool.
for the day.
Magical chickens?
I've heard they exist. They lay eggs that are as sweet as honey. Or Actually, they are flavored as you wish, whatever your desire.
I like eggs.
You look like a man who likes eggs.
I'll just say, we can do the sort of, what is that game, John, that we never play? The Blades in the Dark style. If you guys want to try to do like a flashback or something, feel free.
Yep.
If it seems relevant. But for the most part, as far as equipment, besides like weapons and armor, you guys probably have just kind of standard gear. But I think you each also have a big empty backpack.
Yep.
Because after all, the point is to loot this place.
Right.
You're all here for gold. You're murder hobos.
We probably have small empty backpacks, and Colton over there has a very large empty backpack.
Yeah, I could probably fit one of you inside of my bag.
I start with 2 pouches.
There you go.
As you're all looking at this house, you notice that the front doors, these 2 huge oak double doors, are wide open.
No, we're not going in those. We're going to take an hour to figure out where else we can get it.
It's almost like I did that for that exact reason, Ryan.
It appears we are expected.
Pro DM tip.
Yeah. Just open the
leave
doors.
door open. I was like, will that be enough?
Well, my large friend, shall you lead the way?
I don't know if it'll fit through there. It's a big door, but he's a big man.
Certainly is a big man.
You think that's where the invisible horsemen are with the magic chickens?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Let's go.
If you see any of those invisible horsemen, be sure to smash them over the head, why don't you?
Colton's a bit dim, but every once in a while there's a flicker of something smart. And this time the rest of you all realize there is probably someone else here. 2 horses, no riders.
Yeah.
And the door left open and the lights left on. From everything you heard, questioning villagers and doing your research before coming here, this place hasn't been inhabited for generations.
Colton gets up to the door. He's like maybe like 3 feet from the threshold, and he stops and he turns around and he looks at you, Locke, and he's got this like confused, his face is twisted in confusion. How do I see the invisible horseman as he's taking a flail off of his back?
Such an excellent question, Colton. You've struck right through the heart of it, haven't you? Well, carry on. And then he says, but be careful. You are right. There may be someone here.
He nods and aim for the heart. Okay.
Beyond the threshold, you see a long hallway with vaulted archways separating the hall into sections. The hall is uncomfortably narrow. It's only about 4 feet wide, but the ceilings are close to 10 feet high. Along the walls are gas lantern sconces. Some of them are lit, giving the hall an eerie glow. On the ground, a long purple carpet runs the length of the hall. As you enter, you can't help but feel like you're walking into the mouth of some great beast. Along the hallway, you also see sets of armor on display. You guys make your way into this hall.
Yeah.
All right. I thought a lot about how I wanted to do this. Did I want to make a map or try to describe every door? We are notoriously bad on this podcast at mentioning doors to rooms. So here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to pass out 2 lists of all the rooms in the house. And basically, I'm not going to worry about which room is next to which room. You guys just tell me where you want to go.
Cool.
Sweet. So here, share that with John. You share that with Devin. But obviously, you're in this main hallway. I thought this would be fun too. Instead of me trying to, it adds a little bit of chaos to like how things are sort of unravel. Because I don't know which room you're going to go to.
Whoever built this place certainly has a flair for the dramatic.
It's making me hungry.
So that main hallway, like I said, narrow, only about 4 feet wide. It's a little awkward. with those sort of ribbed, archways and those suits of armor. There's 4 suits of armor on display further down the hallway. And there's sets of double doors all along this hall that open up into different rooms.
Is it only one floor?
No, there's multiple floors. I'll also say this, John, you notice immediately before you even step in that there is some sort of magic at work here. You're like, the house wasn't this long.
Yeah.
It's like, a
funhouse mirror.
Definitely a sort of, not optical illusion, but maybe some sort of magic at work to make the inside bigger than the outside.
It looks as though there's some enchantment on this building. The building itself looked a mere, maybe 200 feet long, but look at it. It stretches down for a while.
Or it's an illusion, the hallway,
Yeah.
one way or the other.
There is more than meets the eye here. We should take a look around.
Transformers.
As Colton's moving down the hallway, he looks to his left, looks to his right, and you turns his head and he's listening, and then he swings with his flail recklessly. That's 21 to hit the invisible horseman in the hallway.
Okay. Roll another D20 for me.
15.
Okay. You swipe the air and hit nothing.
Wow! Oh, I thought I
Almost got
saw
him.
him. Saw one.
Close, Colton, close. But keep at it, young man. Law kind of like ruffles his sleeves and pulls them up a little bit, and he's going to head up to the suits of armor and kind of take a look at them.
Okay. As you make your way to the first suit of armor, you notice that sort of maneuvering around it and inspecting it is awkward because the hallway is so tight and it's bulky. It's a set of full plate. So it takes up a good amount of room in the hallway. It's a bad decoration
The
decision.
feng shui in here is really bad.
Yeah. Which is sort of the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that the craftsmanship of this is amazing. There's a masterful level of detail on this, the first set of armor that you kind of stop to examine. Why don't you give me a history check? Anyone else who wants to do the same can if they're examining the armor.
17.
17, okay. And anyone who has heavy armor proficiency can roll with advantage.
Colton swings wildly into the hallway. Then
Ryan rolled a 1 and a 2.
I reckon that armor's made out of metal.
Can I use investigation? I want to sort of appraise this armor to see how much money it could be worth.
Absolutely.
I got a 2 plus 8.
Yeah, don't you? But
Plus 8
they're
is 10.
that one might not. They're all fake, I think.
Plus 8.
Yeah, I have
I'm not
expertise.
so sure about that.
And John, you said you got a 17?
Yeah.
All right, you needed a 15.
Oh, sorry, it's plus 6.
Oh, okay. John, the armor's not only functional, but you think that it may also have some sort of magical quality. You see some inscriptions that look like arcane runes. And as you look over the other sets of armor, you notice that each one has sort of personalized touches, little designs that look almost like, like a pouch on a belt, or like a lock of like hair, like, that someone would have, like but it's all crafted into the armor. And you think
They're almost statuesque as opposed to armor.
But what it gives you the impression that they were made for specific individuals. Like these aren't just like generic set of plate mail. It was like they're made for specific people. And as you look at each set, you realize they're made of different types of metal, and the style of craftsmanship is very different. Like they're not all made by the same smith. These are culturally very
disparate.
different. Yeah.
He goes, while I don't begrudge them for displaying such works of art, where they place them seems out of sorts. It's difficult to move. But look at this. This is more of an Eastern flair of armor, made of steel that wouldn't necessarily be found in this region. And this one over here is more of the contemporary
Antique Roadshow over here.
Yeah. quite exquisite.
You're,
they
you're
are real.
You are such a blowhard, Locke. These are all knockoffs. These
No,
ain't real. These ain't real.
These are
Ting,
exquisite
ting, ting, ting.
exquisite pieces of armor.
I guarantee you
crafted
none
by
of these could stop a bullet.
masters.
Not one of them.
They weren't built to stop bullets, my friend.
Well, that's a problem. That's why no one wears armor anymore.
They are merely a show, a decoration.
Do you swing again?
Yep.
My friend Colton, perhaps you should save
Colton,
your energy.
Why don't you try to use your beautiful head and put that beautiful weapon of yours right through that armor over there. I bet you can smash it right in.
They might be worth something, and they are on the way out. So maybe we can
Okay.
just.
All right, I guess we're not making any attempt to be quiet.
Colton, perhaps that wouldn't be the best idea. I'm gonna roll persuasion.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got it back over his shoulder.
That's a 21. Now, my friend Colton, there'll be plenty things to smash, I'm sure, but these pieces of armor are exquisite, and they will make such a racket. We've already established that there may be people here.
That we can't agree on. It will be quite loud.
He'll
On
drop-
the way out,
drop the
on the way
mace.
out, you may smash a piece of armor,
Ooh.
but for now, we
We'll-
need to be a little bit quiet.
We'll save the scrap metal destruction until the end.
Devin, even with the failed roll, it's clear that these are worth a lot. The problem is, as
They're very
Locke
they're
has
very
identified.
heavy.
Well, they are. I mean, they're not that far from the wagon, but as Locke has identified, they're very custom. They were made for specific individuals.
Yeah, to fit somebody else. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if you bother to take a piece off and look, but they have been made for people of very specific body sizes. Oh,
so they're not magical. They won't.
you're not sure.
No, okay. If we try to put them on, we'll find out. We'll find out if they're more.
And Locke says, yeah, every piece is handcrafted specifically for somebody. These must be family members or who knows.
He failed his roll, Brian.
And there is some magic among them. I feel the arcane infused with them.
Colton's wandered off.
I'm gonna
I was
look-
trying to educate you on these things, and you just wandered.
Yeah, he just walked away.
I'm gonna look in the helmets to see if they're armor / sarcophagi. To see if the family members are still in there.
That would have been good.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
nothing. Oh, well, that's
And-
disappointing.
And Colton, if you see here Colton,
You
I think
they're in the kitchen
I think
with
he's
the
in.
chickens?
Yeah, he went to the kitchen. He's
Colton, shh.
Sorry.
He's in the kitchen already.
You know what? Let us check a room.
Colton, sweetheart, don't eat anything you find in there.
Sounds like Colton's
What?
going into the kitchen.
Yeah.
Very
You
well.
guys gonna follow him or all split up and everyone go a different direction?
We'll go all the
Split up.
Right, everyone hold tight.
I mean, that's the
Come
proper.
back in an hour.
That's the proper horror movie thing to do. Is everyone pick a separate room?
Maybe the ballroom is sort of attached to the kitchen. So Rye will follow them for a time and then turn and open some big double doors before the kitchen.
That makes sense. Kitchen would be near the ballroom so that they can serve the guests faster. So maybe you go into the kitchen, but yeah, then you see the entrance into the ballroom, and then we can split the party. So Matt, Colton follows his sense of knowing exactly where the kitchen is at all times. And you go to the end of that hall and you open a door, and sure enough, kitchens are always in the back.
That's where they belong.
It's clear that this kitchen hasn't had food in it for a very long time. As soon as you go in, you notice that it's pretty clean in here. It's dusty, but it's clean. There's shelves and cupboards, and they're all empty. One entire wall is taken up by an iron wood stove. It's enormous. Maybe 8 feet long, big enough for multiple cooks to kind of be working at once. It has multiple exhaust pipes on the back of it that go into this brick wall. The wall behind it and the floor below it are all brick to kind of absorb some of the heat. But it's sort of like the main feature of this room. It takes up a lot of space. And all of the shell, I mean, you open a couple cabinets, but it's clear very quickly that there's no food in here. There's a couple empty jars, but but that's it. You find a few like cooking utensils and a couple pots and pans, but no food and no mold or like residue of food or anything.
Oh,
Locke steps into the kitchen. Any luck, my friend? Magical chickens or otherwise?
empty. It's all empty.
Tragic. A tragic tale.
There's not even grease. It could suck up with some bread or something. I mean, he's like lifting up lids to pots and like he's pushing things over on the stove, looking for some like residual.
He's so
anything.
hungry.
You move something on the stove, and you realize that the stove has a little bit of heat to it still. It's just slightly warmer than everything around it.
Oh, cookies! He's gonna go for the oven door, and he's gonna like try to open up an oven door to see what's inside.
Open up the oven door. Hold there. Let's cut to Johan. Is anyone going with Johan?
After that initial like chat, I think because it's the ballroom, Locke is drawn to it.
So, yeah. So you open up the oven door just as standing right behind you, Johan opens a door into the ballroom, and Johan and Colton, Johan and Locke wander into this ballroom. Annabelle, are you staying with Colton or?
Absolutely.
All right. So the ballroom is a wide open room. Again, you immediately realize this room is too big for this place.
Yeah.
It has these high vaulted ceilings, polished hardwood floors that actually look pretty clean. The walls around the exterior of the room are all draped with a dark red curtains. Locke, you know that the reason for this is to stop echo.
Yep.
Because this room is that massive. And then in the center of the room, hanging above the dance floor, is a massive crystal chandelier. It's sparkling and lit. Clearly, the lights in it are some sort of ever-burning torches or something like that, because the whole thing is lit up. And it sort of almost makes this like disco ball type effect on the entire on the entire dance floor, and the entire room. There's also, in one corner of the room, there's a large piano.
Quite the space. I mean, the decor is a bit dated, but that chandelier is beautiful.
Rye starts just striding out into the ballroom. His boots are clicking, and he does a little spin. And as he completes the spin, his short sword is in his hand, and he begins this sort of, his eyes are almost closed. He's staring 1,000 yards away, but he's imagining himself in this fateful duel in the ballroom, sort of acting it out.
Why, Rye, I didn't know you had such whimsy about you. You seem like such a dour man in your shop.
And Patty, and he does a flourish and like spins around.
As he says parry, you realize the acoustics in here are excellent. The positioning of these curtains is very intentional to sort of send the sound to the dance floor, and you can imagine that at its height, the parties that were thrown here must have been amazing.
Locke can't help himself. He wheels his lute around from his back and just kind of plays a soft tone in sync with
Why don't you give me
dancing.
a perform check?
Yep.
Meanwhile, Colton, you open that oven. It's slightly warm to the touch, not uncomfortably so, but it's clear that something has recently been cooked in the stove. There's fresh kind of ash on the inside of the stove, and there's a smell of burnt meat. Ooh. Colton and Annabelle, can you guys both give me a survival check?
18 for that perform.
13.
16.
I'll write you a nasty gram, Ryan, because it's more fun that way.
Ooh.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
It's up to you to figure out, to explain to me how you know that.
Oh, boy.
It smells like they just made a roast or something. It's making your stomach sort of grumble.
Oh, it's not cookies. That was meat. Can we hear the music from the?
Sounds good.
Colton's going to say that, and then he's going to stop, and he's going to look towards the door. Oh,
Colton,
he's going to walk past.
I got to tell you, my friend, one time I was in we went a little spat with a dwarf, and I shot him point blank with a pistol, and it actually smelled a whole lot like that.
He's going to open up the door to the ballroom and he's going to yell, I thought we were keeping it quiet.
Rye just like stops and turns.
The chandelier shakes.
You hear like the cord end and like a abrupt. I was keeping it as quiet as I could, Colton. No need to yell about it, my friend. Did you find anything interesting in the kitchen?
Somebody roasted some magical chickens.
Magical chickens. Oh,
Or maybe dwarves. We're not sure.
dwarves.
Huh?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
I as I told my friend Colin, I got into a spat with a dwarf once and shot him point blank with a pistol. Got a real good, real kind of funny smell.
Very distinct. It's like swordfish. I don't
Smelled
know.
an awful lot like that.
Well, it smells good.
It does smell quite good.
The lights of the chandelier go out. The room is completely dark. There's no windows in the kitchen or in the dining hall. Everything just goes black, except for maybe for the Asimir. We'll
dark
get to
vision.
that in a minute. Yeah, good. Thank you, John, for not doing the meme thing of the room is dark. I've got dark vision. The lights go out completely. It's pitch black, and you hear the piano start playing.
Well,
John,
yeah.
right on the edge of that dark vision is that piano. And you look over and you see that there is no one sitting behind it. I'd imagine that dark vision, I mean, it's supposed to be like dimly lit.
Yeah.
So, and the 60-foot range thing is weird because it's like, is it just a black wall
Right.
after
Is it
that?
right?
I don't really know. But we'll just say it's sort
Kinda
of like,
fades away.
imagine like a torch. Yeah. Like
Yeah.
it fades away. So it's basically like you have a torch, but right on the edge of your vision, you see that piano and you don't see anyone sitting behind it. But it is, the rest of you, it is completely dark.
Locke holds out a hand and just casts light on his hand, and like this, 30 feet of bright light, kind of like in 20 feet of dim light. Also, they probably don't get all the way to the piano.
Yeah. Where are Colton and Annabelle? Where are you guys? Because you were in the kitchen.
Colton's standing at the door.
Okay.
As soon as the lights went off and the piano started playing, though, he was going to let the door close, and he wants to go back to find that roasted.
There was a dwarf.
Yeah.
And
It could be
Annabelle,
a chicken. He doesn't know. Yeah, he doesn't.
Oh, I ain't going anywhere near a spooky dark room.
so you're in the door. Well, both
Yeah.
rooms are dark because the
Yeah.
kitchen didn't have any light in it.
After you shut the door, then I'll duck like over to the side of
Okay.
the door.
You cast that light spell.
Yeah.
It lights the room up brighter than it was with the chandelier lit. And as it lights up, you hear the chandelier shake again. That it's sort of like a wind chime, but this chandelier is huge.
Yeah.
It's maybe 15 feet across. And can Johan and Locke, can the two of you please make a dexterity saving throw for me?
24 for Rye.
14 for Locke.
14. Okay. I need some dice. Matt, can I say some of those D6s I gave you?
Yeah, yeah.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Um,
Roller.
do you take half damage?
Not yet.
Thing? No. Sorry, that sentence didn't make any sense, but you figured out. What I
Do you have
was
evasion?
22 damage for Locke and 11 damage for Johan as the chandelier smashes into the middle of the dance floor. Basically right on top of you, Locke.
Yep.
You're not pinned under it
Yeah.
because it's all of these like long branching crystal pieces. So they're very thin and So, you can't really get stuck under it. You can just kind of pull yourself out. It's like being under a bunch of tree branches. Locke, you mostly dive out of the way, but one of the arms just kind of gashes you on the face. Johan, sorry. That's probably a significant portion of your hit points.
I have 6 left.
Okay.
The reason Locke took the full brunt is he was desperately trying to get his loot to safety. So he has his arm like out, like with the loot hanging like in midair while this thing crushes down on him.
The two of you hear this, of course. This crashing sound of the chandelier falling.
Colton whips the door back open to yell at you again about making noise and sees it go. Now you're breaking shit.
So, Colton, you get a good view of this. Johan and Locke are kind of in it, so they don't really see what's going on. But you get a good look at this huge crystal chandelier that did not break, and in fact is moving. All of those branching arms are turning over like a giant spider almost, and it's lifting itself up. And you can see it's lifting itself up over Locke, and all of these arms are about to start to come down and gash.
Locke says,
smash him.
He like stands up and brushes himself off with his loot and kind of slings it around. He goes, I'm not sure. It must be some shoddy craftsmanship. Building otherwise.
Colton points with his flail and goes, "Oh, it's moving."
Roll initiative. I think 3 out of 4 of you have an advantage.
That's not an advantage. You add your proficiency.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have the other thing?
No, I have alert.
Oh, what do you add? Someone has advantage. Oh,
Is that what it says? 2A?
you have advantage. It's a fighter. It's a champion fighter thing.
Oh, that's a 6.
He's hungry.
Yeah.
He's hungry.
I got 17.
6, 17,
25.
25,
14.
and 14. Now, before I write these all down, who has alertness? Because you can switch places with someone if you want to.
I do.
Okay. So, do you want to? Does anyone want to switch places? I don't know. I'm really quick. Like, you've all worked together before, so you probably have a good idea of like, if I don't know if like you want to allow Locke to cast some sort of buff before you attack or something. I don't know how any of this works. But you guys are a well-established team.
What was your initiative, Locke?
14.
You hear, as this thing starts to get up, you hear, Locke, good chap. Get out of there.
You're gonna switch with him.
Yep. Locke
So what
gets
is that?
Locke
So
gets a 25.
And what did you have, John?
A 14.
All right, so you're a 14, you're a 25. Matt, you're a 6. And Ryan
17.
is a 17. I don't know if there's any reason for you guys to switch, but that's okay. Locke.
Yep.
You just look over at Johan and you see this look of concern and it makes you realize something's going on. And then you just notice that shit, the chandelier didn't break. And then you notice, wait, it's
standing
moving.
over me.
What are you doing?
Locke backs up a little bit. Can I back away before it fully forms and doesn't get attack of opportunity, or am I engaged with it?
You're engaged.
Okay.
You both are. Devin, Johan, you are also engaged. You're in. It's got a 10-foot reach.
Oh, but you can cast in combat.
You
right?
can, yeah.
Okay. Johan, he was going to sling his.
My name is Johan.
Jeez, I'm doing a Dan. Dan's not here, but he's here in spirit. Locke, he was about to throw his loot around his back, but catches himself and brings it back around towards him, and just plays a strong chord, and these waves of energy emanate out from it. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave on this.
Awesome.
Ooh, does that do extra damage to objects?
To constructs, yeah, I believe so.
To constructs?
Yeah, it's
Sick.
One second.
It's one of my favorite Red Hot Chili Peppers tracks. It's Thunderstruck.
Each creature
Thunderwave.
in a 15-foot cube originating from you makes a Constitution saving throw. So con save, DC 15.
At 20. Sorry.
You take half damage.
Okay.
So, oh no, this doesn't do anything extra to constructs. Never mind. But yeah,
Shatter
I'm still gonna
does.
do it anyways. Yeah, shatter. which I don't think I took. But I'm still going to do it. 15 halved. So 7 damage. 7 thunder damage.
Thunder damage. What does that look like?
Just these, like the air kind of ripples around, and the chandelier, like each of the little twines of the chandelier got pushed back as this wave emanates out from his loot.
Nice.
And then, I guess I can't move out.
Ryan, before you go, make a perception check for me.
I ain't that perceptive, but I got 14.
Nothing is amiss.
Okay, cool.
It's all good. Just a
What are you
regular
doing?
old spider
good,
chandelier.
So I do I see that I see him attack the chandelier?
Yes.
All right. So I'm kind of using the kitchen door as cover. And I'm gonna
Imagine these two big swinging doors,
Yep.
like you would see at a modern day kitchen. The little windows.
Colton's just in one side, standing with it open and his flail pointed.
Oh, there we go. So I'm going to bash through one of the windows. And
Okay,
and
nice.
fire through the window.
Nice. You're like, how often do I get to do this in
Yeah,
a D&D
just-
game?
All right. So let's take a shot with the musket through the window.
The winder.
Ryan, also keep in mind you have luck. You're lucky.
Actually, sorry,
I'm not going to need it on that one.
Oh shit, you're not.
Jake. As a bonus action, I'm going to use my telekinesis and try to push it back.
Oh, cool.
So strength DC 14.
Okay, and then you'll be able to move.
Yeah.
Failed that one.
So it gets pushed back. So more as like in addition to the thunder wave.
Cool.
This energy just gets pushed back and it slides. It doesn't slide the full 10 feet.
Yeah.
But slides a little bit backwards.
Cool. And then you can take a move.
Then I head back towards where Annabelle is.
It's what everyone expects to happen to Annabelle when she shoots her musket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ryan rolled a crit.
Rolled a crit.
He rolled a
Rolled a
19 and he's
19.
a champion.
So a lot of D6 is going up right now.
A lot of D12.
D12.
Oh, big
He's
boy,
using a
big
musket.
boy.
Hey, you know what? I love it. I love using D12s.
All right.
More
I
D12s.
have one in the bag.
Agree.
But I'm not sure how this works.
So what's the crit? So the crit.
So your crit is 3d12.
Okay, 3d12.
because you're piercer.
Wow.
But
Roll
you
one
roll
extra damage die,
one
Chris.
extra damage die,
Okay.
and then it's not one extra, is
Reroll.
it? Or is it
It's reroll one and roll one extra on
Yes,
crits.
yes.
And then I roll damage dice twice and pick the highest.
So roll
3d12, then
roll
3d12.
3d12
Shit ton of
twice.
D12.
Yeah.
3d12 twice. All right. So we got 19 on the first roll.
Okay, but you need to remember
The
what
numbers.
the low roll is.
The low
You
roll's
can,
a 3.
you
Jesus
can only
Christ.
do that. You
Yeah.
can only
This is-
re-roll it once.
Yeah.
So 11, 5, 3.
Once per
Yep,
turn
right.
or
Once per turn.
Okay.
But one's a reroll and one is roll an extra and take the highest. That's why they stack.
Well, Savage Attacker is
Savage Attacker and Piercer.
Yeah.
That's why they stack.
roll twice, take the
Roll
higher.
twice, take the higher.
But-
No. Roll twice as many dice and take the higher of the roll. Does that roll the damage twice and take the higher roll?
And then
But-
I can re-roll one.
Yep. So
One.
just roll again.
That's the lower
All right.
anyway.
So now you're going to keep the 11, 5, 3, but reroll
roll
the 3.
3. I got a 2.
Okay. But you have to take the 2.
I have to take the 2.
So 18
18 plus 4.
Plus
so
4.
22.
Nice shot, kid.
That was
It's a good shot right in
good
the
shot.
center. Breaks off a piece of this chandelier. It just cracks and falls off. That echo is not quiet, and it reverberates through that the hall quite nicely. Johan.
I'm up close. I'm the only one engaged with this thing now.
It got pushed away from you 5 feet.
Oh, cool. Then I will take a step back and say, well, I guess the gig is up. And I pull my pistol out of my coat and I take a shot.
Aiming.
Um,
Bonus action. Or
no, I'm going to move
okay.
30 feet back. He sort of springs back a couple of feet. He's very eager to get out of there. And then just takes one shot. That'll be a 21.
That's a hit.
No one is up and close with it. 5 damage.
5.
Yep.
All right.
He kind of doesn't want to shoot the crystals.
Try to preserve every single one so you can pick them off.
Yeah.
Oh, I have Piercer. I can reroll.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
That's 10. So 14 damage.
Much better. Matt, give me a perception check.
You see an invisible man.
Nothing. 7.
7. Okay. You are about to run out there and smash this thing when something grabs you from behind. Give me a strength saving throw.
19.
Okay. You turn around and you see that this pipe from the stove is wrapped around your body, your torso. The pipe has pulled itself out of the brick and is wrapped around your torso and is trying to pull you towards the open oven. The oven is now glowing hot. And the entire
We know what happened to
stove
Lasker.
is shaking. What do you do?
He's flailing his hand. He's gonna look back and I'm not a chicken, and he's gonna just swing down the flail at the pipe.
It does go before you, but Mr. 6 initiative. But you swing at it. All right. Oh, it's trying to pull you. It failed the strength check, right? So are you gonna rage?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah. If it's his turn, he's gonna. I'm not a chicken, and as he says that, if anybody's looking, you can almost see that there's like a ripple around him, like there's this pulse, like the ground underneath him kind of sags just a little bit, and you can like sense that there's this extra power in the room, and he swings down with that flail. He's gonna go reckless, so that's natural 18 to hit.
Yeah. What's your total? I'm just curious. That should be fine. But
25.
good.
25 hits.
You missed
the
the
stove.
oven. You missed the oven.
I mean, it is made out of. It is a giant metal oven.
True.
That is 19 bludgeoning.
19
With the-
bludgeoning. Nice.
No, I'm sorry. I rolled the wrong. It's a D
We're learning this game.
plus.
Wait, what are you attacking with?
The flail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
One-handed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, two-handed.
Okay.
So that's only 8 plus 6. That's 14.
You know, you get to roll twice, right? You get to roll the D8.
Oh,
you don't
yeah,
get to roll the D6 twice. Just
Just
the
the D8?
Yep.
Okay.
And pick the higher.
Well, so that's one more.
Okay. So how much?
15
15.
bludgeoning with the flail.
You crack this thing with the flail. Meanwhile, dong! It just kind of makes this like reverberating sound of a flail hitting a metal stove. Meanwhile, in the ballroom,
Is that a flail hitting a metal
this
stove?
thing, imagine just this clinking of crystal, like the racket it makes is insane as it lifts itself up, and very quickly these arms of the candelabras start clawing their way across the dance floor, directly towards, let me roll, directly towards Locke. What's your armor class?
15.
Do you have any, you don't have any weird,
No.
like shieldy things? Okay. I got a crit.
Well, you get to roll on your D20 chart for the first time.
Yeah, definitely. How many hit points do you have?
6.
It's a lot more than 6. So go ahead and roll a D20 for me. All right. And then I'm going to leave it to you to describe what exactly happens.
It's a 16.
A 16. So John, roll a D6.
1.
A 1. Oh, good for you. Take 1 point of con damage.
That's
Whoa.
That is good for you.
And describe your chest injury.
This chandelier taking shots, kind of getting pushed back, kind of rears back up on its limbs, and then charges forward and kind of spins as if a buzz saw, and just like rakes across Locke's chest.
Merciful gods!
As Locke pushes back and like flips backwards, trying to get out of the way, but blood splatters out.
Nice. As it's doing this, one of the other arms of that candelabra kind of waves its arm towards Johan, and Johan, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Do I start back at max?
Yes, you do, but with your new con mod.
Same mod.
Nice.
Natural 20 on the
even
dice.
numbers. Wow. Natural 20.
26 total.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, not same.
So I'll say that you fully avoid any damage as this gout of flame from the candlesticks on the end of it just kind of shoots out towards you. So how do you avoid that?
I think he, seeing Locke get just raked, he like looks down to like reload his gun quickly. And it's sort of like jammed. So he bends down and like hold the gun between his knees, and just a bolt of fire comes out.
Yeah, it was burning hands, but since you got a nat 20, I'll let you avoid it completely.
Nice.
All right, we're back at the top.
I'm now engaged with it again, I assume.
I will say, yeah, John and Devin, you guys, I don't know if you're aware of the oven, the stove in the other room, but Annabelle, you obviously know. You're right there.
Yeah.
You see what's happening.
It sounds
that
like our
metal
big
is
friend
ringing.
is
Yeah.
taking care
It's
of things.
handling it.
Yeah.
It's trying to pull you in, but you're not moving.
Yep.
Capable young man he is, isn't he, Locke?
Indeed.
And John, top of the order, you're up.
Yeah. This is a construct, so probably vicious mockery doesn't work on a construct, I assume. Locke finally pushes his loot behind his back and pulls out two ornate daggers, and then starts to try to cut off pieces of this chandelier.
Okay.
I'm gonna make an attack. 22.
Hit.
Hell yeah, max damage, which is 6.
Okay.
6
Boom.
damage. 6 piercing. And then he'll look back and go, Annabelle, shoot it. I'm going to give you bardic inspiration.
Ooh. And you're up, actually,
All
Annabelle.
right.
So that's if you fail, you can choose to use it. You don't have
Oh,
to wait.
shit.
You don't have to
all
choose
right.
it before you roll.
Perfect. All right, I'll pick.
It's D6.
I
You
look at-
also have heroic inspiration, which can give you advantage, and you're human, so you start with it, and you have luck.
and
So
block.
you got a lot of
Yeah.
ways.
Stacked.
I look over. I'm like, hold tight, honey. I'm gonna help these guys with their chandelier problem, and then we'll take care of that stove for you. So now the firearms had the loading property on them. What does that mean? They need to
so
be.
the
in
way
action?
loading works in the new edition is just if you have multiple attacks, you can still only take one attack.
Okay. I don't have
Yes.
multiple attacks.
Yeah,
so it works.
you're good.
Okay.
You can only be a gun shooty character at low levels.
Well, you take
Or if you're a rogue and you only get one attack ever.
True.
Yeah.
crossbow master. Is there no gun master?
There isn't. I personally think you should just there
take
should
crossbow.
be a crossbow master. You know that is
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
feat.
Yeah.
But also the guns do a lot more damage.
So maybe it was
D12 and a
a
D10.
balance.
So
So firing on that. I'm just gonna keep slipping into this draw.
Yeah.
Fire at the chandelier.
a rogue gun, a rogue with guns is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
25 for the chandelier.
25 is a hit.
You're playing Reaper from Overwatch.
Just
That was
roll
the other guy.
3d12.
Rolling 3d12.
Yeah. Take the highest.
I got 12s. So 16 damage.
Yeah, the musket cracks and hits the chandelier right in the center. And as it hits it, the chandelier explodes into a million tiny little pieces of crystal, which kind of fly out in every direction. Locke, you shield your eyes thinking that you're about to get hit with a wall of shrapnel.
Yeah.
The two of you do, Johan and Locke. You're both like, we're dead. We're fucking
We're
dead.
100% dead.
And as this wall of shrapnel hits you, it's wet. It's mushy. It's organic. It's just tiny pieces of wet flesh that splatter across all of you.
Oh, ew. What is this?
Devin, you're up.
Johan wipes his mouth.
You hear.
Now
You
that,
hear
now that that's quiet.
I mean, like, you know what? The dinner rush.
Clink, clink, clink.
Maybe you can give us a hand with this oven now before it tries to cook up Colton.
He has this look of disappointment when he sees no crystals. Be right there. Bless your courage, Locke, and your aim, Annabelle. And he starts moving towards the kitchen, pistol in hand.
You see this sight. You see the huge Colton with
With
a
an oven.
metal pipe wrapped around his midsection, and this oven just kind of like rocking back and forth, trying to pull him towards the open doors.
I'm not a chicken. I told you, I'm not a chicken.
I mean, this thing is enormous. Like I said, it's an 8-foot wood stove. It weighs tons, and it is not moving him at all. He's steadfast, just standing there.
Johan
Anyone else should be in that fucking oven right now.
Andro.
Johan stands on the other side of that window that Annabelle blew out and says, "Ever seen anything like that?" And he pulls up his pistol and takes a shot at the pipe. It's a 10 to hit.
That's a miss.
Can I? Oh, I have to declare it before my roll.
I think it's inspiration, right?
Yeah,
Heroic inspiration. You can
Yes.
use it if you want.
I'm going to use it.
Yeah.
That's going to be an 18,
18 will hit.
and it is engaged with
Oh, it is engaged.
Mr.
It
Colton.
is.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie. That is going to be 11 points of piercing damage.
Ping. It knocks off. You've seen on wood stoves, like the burners, like they're these little like circular discs that you can take off to like stoke the fire. It just knocks one of those off. It goes flipping off to the side. You see like flames kind of shoot out of the wood stove. And it's the wood stove's turn. It lets go. That pipe unwraps, and you see the legs of the wood stove pull out of the brick, and it
Ooh.
rushes towards you.
Cool.
What's your armor class? Oh, you went reckless, so it gets advantage.
But I also with the flail,
Mhm.
I have it has the mastery property of sap. So what sap does is if I hit a creature with this weapon, creature has disadvantage on the next attack roll before the start of your next turn.
Holy shit!
Nice.
You accidentally min-maxed barbarian just now, dude.
So
I'm like,
it's-
why is he using the flail and not the magic maul I gave him? Oh, because he read the description.
Yeah. So it's flat roll.
All right. Damn, that's crazy. That is. I think you found it.
Yeah, so I read that and I was like, oh well, this makes total sense. It's less damage, but shit.
One of the attacks still hit.
Okay.
You are raging, right?
Yes.
All right.
Raging Cajun.
So you take 16, but halved, because that's bludgeoning. And then you take 4 fire damage, which is not halved from the heat of the stove. This thing just smashes into you. It doesn't have limbs or anything. It's just it's pure size as it smashes into you. Luckily that the doors behind you, open, so you don't get crushed against the wall. But it's just pushing you like it's just pushing you forward.
Yeah.
And you're up.
Ryan, that bardic inspiration is an hour too.
Okay.
Here's my D6.
Nice.
That way you can.
It's my bard.
It's your bard D6. You remember you have it.
A little bard bonus. I know that can go on any roll. Is that how it works? Or
D20. Any
D20.
D20.
Any 20 roll. Cool.
So Colton, getting slammed up against the doors and kind of pushing out into the other room, he's going to set his feet, go, I'll show you, stove! And he's just going to swing with them all reckless. Oh shit. That might not hit. That's a 13.
That's a miss.
Shit.
Ooh.
Now it's dangerous.
So you hit it, but it just boom, like just hits metal and doesn't, do anything.
Yep, the ball of that flail just comes flipping back onto the pole of it.
Imagine hitting up like a metal stove with a mallet or something. That would shake your hand.
I watched a bunch of videos on flails, and that was one of the advantages is it doesn't have that reverb.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you hit,
yeah.
and it doesn't doesn't give you the, I forget what it's called, the hand cramp
Yep.
or whatever.
Yeah.
The chain absorbs it.
Yeah.
Very cool. We're back at the top of the order with
Lock.
Lock.
I'll try it. It seemed like these things are organic, so he says, "Step back, oven."
You tell it, Lock. Reloading my pistol.
That Colton is too big a meal for you. I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at it. So wisdom save DC 15.
Okay. 14 plus 1.
No. I think still half damage. So 2 damage.
2?
Yeah. If it fails, it gets a disadvantage on its next attack.
Oh, that's pretty good. would have evened out
Yeah.
the missing with the flail.
Is Locke trying to threaten a stove?
I will give you this, John. You don't think it's immune.
Okay.
You saw that it was struggling to continue to do what it was doing. Ryan. Annabelle.
Okay. Annabelle is going to try to put one right in the oven and have it ricochet around.
Okay.
That's my goal here.
It doesn't take any damage, sorry.
Okay.
It's not half.
So that would be 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
1, 2, 3. So 7 damage.
Ooh.
That's what the rerolls?
Yeah, that was I rolled
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3.
Jeez.
I figured you'd consistently put out some good damage, but
But you suck.
There's a lot of averages.
it does. You shoot it right into that open oven, and it bounces around and actually bounces back and hits the door right next to you.
I
Your shot.
don't think that hurt it much.
Devin, you go at the same time as the oven. What are you doing?
I probably have a higher dexterity.
Yeah, definitely. Higher dexterity than the oven.
That oven is moving rather slow. Hold on, old boy. And I am going, because of my Vex property on my pistol, I have advantage on this attack roll. And I, just like with the rope on the horse, I imagine it in my head, I visualize, and I take my shot. 11's on both dice. That's
You're shooting a
the second
pistol?
time. My pistol, yep. It's a 17 to hit.
17's a miss.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
This is going to be funny what I'm going to do on my next turn.
He looks at his pistol as if something's wrong with
I
it.
imagine you hit it and it just does nothing.
Yeah. Devin saying slow reminded me that the musket does have the slow property, which I don't know what that does. But
This is why you fill your own ammunition.
Slow is a good thing,
Yeah.
actually. It I believe it's -10 to its movement if you
Okay.
hit with it. Yeah.
so that
Yes.
Yeah.
that's going to slow down that oven's movement. Then.
yeah.
I'm going to use my bonus action.
Okay.
And I am going to look at that pistol and then just like look around at everyone else. Everyone's sort of looking at the oven and at Colton. I just sort of squat down behind the window frame.
And hide.
Yeah. Yes.
Just real shifty, like your eyes sliding back and forth.
I put my hand in my bag and I'm looking for something.
Matt, I'm rolling a bunch of damage for you here.
Sweet.
All right. I'm going to give you adjusted after taking half. Okay.
Okay.
So you take a total of
35.
27.
I'm down.
You're down?
Yeah, by one, I had 26.
Okay. So it hit twice because of the advantage. And it actually rolled really high on the fire damage. So keep that in mind for the
Fire
narration
damage.
you're about to give me, is that whatever wound you're taking is probably from fire.
Okay.
Roll a d20.
2.
2. All right. So the result is your a leg wound, and you are at half movement now.
Oh, shit.
So what happens? And then reset your hit points.
So this oven is like slamming into the door, trying to get at him, and he steps in to hit it with his flail, and it had bounced off and came wrapping around, and Colton kind of like looked back at it, and his eyes crossed as he watched the ball come back to him. So he kind of took his eyes off of the oven, and that pipe that grabbed him before comes in and wraps around his leg and just yanks and pulls one of his legs directly into the burning hot oven. And you just hear the sizzling of flesh as it as he pulls it around and bounces around on the inside of the oven.
Annabelle smells like human meat this time.
Now it's,
And it's your turn. Matt.
now it's gaming.
Colton's up after that.
Do I lose con?
No, not
Okay.
for that one. Just half movement for the rest of the adventure. No big deal.
Oh shit!
That's easy.
Keep up, big guy.
Don't get another one.
Is it like a bonus action or anything to drop a weapon and draw another one? I don't remember.
If you're not moving, I'll say you can just do that. Were you planning on just standing here, drawing the maul and attacking with that?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. So as that
That's
thing
fine.
pulled him in, he probably the flail dropped out of his hands as it got yanked in, and he put his hands on the oven to push him out, and then he reaches back over his shoulder and pulls out this black crude iron maul and swings down recklessly. Nope. 12.
12?
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
And heroic has to be before, right?
I let Devin do it, so I'll let you do it.
Yeah,
if you
I
want.
think.
Yeah.
I think he's.
Well, no, heroic is advantage.
Oh,
You already had advantage.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So never mind. So yeah.
All right.
Reset hit points. Good.
John. Colton is like half lying on the ground. It looks like you can see the. Do you wear any you don't wear armor? Do you wear clothes? What do you wear?
Yeah. He had on black traveling pants.
Yeah.
But they are now you can see red seared flesh, and it looks like the fabric of his pants is melted into his skin.
The leather's are you to all your
John,
is your shirt still intact or
you gonna cast heat metal?
yeah. No, something
Asking
funny.
for friend.
So far,
Okay,
yeah, he's got
okay.
the breastplate on,
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
Because I want to
Yeah,
see
but
what
you can see
what you
those
do.
Is
the
under
rippling
yeah.
muscles under the seared flesh. It looks really taut right now. It looks good.
Oven.
Yeah. Yeah. The door's opening.
If you pound a human with a clay oven, does that tenderize it? I'm going to cast Tasha's hideous laughter on the oven. Wisdom DC 15.
I failed it.
It falls prone and starts laughing.
All of a sudden the oven
Incapacitated.
stops moving completely. It's completely still. You all kind of look around like, what the fuck? Like it's just an inanimate oven. And then all of a sudden steam starts kind of pouring out of the vents, out of the burners on top. And it does sound a little bit like a laugh, like the sound of all the steam kind of escaping as the whole thing just starts to kind of shake. Like a boiler that's been overpowered.
At least one of us has a sense of humor.
It's like that wheezing laugh.
And as a is that a bonus action? Yeah. As a bonus action, I say, "Come on, Colton, get up, smash that thing to bits." I'm gonna use Mantle of Inspiration on all y'all. So I'm gonna expend a Bardic Inspiration dice. Allies, I roll a Bardic Inspiration dice. You all get 2 temporary hit points.
That's more fun. Let's just roll the chart more.
I know. And you can use your action to move without opportunity attack if you want.
Okay.
Cool. I would like to move. Gonna try to move around the stove and see if I can find a weaker plate in the
like a vent.
yeah, less cast. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, you are up next,
Yep.
Ryan. What is Annabelle? So Annabelle kind of stalks around it. You're loading that
Yeah.
musket as you make a circle around
She's looking
it.
a little hot and bothered from the
Little
heat of
sweaty,
the oven.
little
yeah,
sweaty.
it's definitely
Yeah. It's
definitely
getting hot
the
in
oven.
here.
Yeah, it is hot in here. And we're gonna try to shoot an oven with a musket.
It's prone, so you have advantage.
Let's see, that would
believe
be 19.
Oh, no, just...
That's it.
It's a hit. All right.
Oh, never mind.
I was getting the other.
You don't get advantage when they're incapacitated?
No,
No.
you have disadvantage on attack rolls if you're prone.
What?
With range?
Oh, it's prone. It's not incapacitated?
It is incapacitated as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think...
Oh, yeah. If you yeah.
Can a stove be prone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about having an advantage on incapacitated.
I would say it's, you don't have disadvantage.
No, I'm saying the stove has disadvantage on attacks.
Right.
Yeah.
Again. Oh. 7.
Nice catch.
9. 9 plus 4 is 13.
A solid hit in that vent. You hear the round go in and bounce around and it doesn't come out.
It can make a wisdom saving throw to end the laughter because it took damage.
Oh. Failed. Devin.
It's a good joke.
It's really good.
Johann pops up, and in one hand is that pistol raised, one eye is closed, and then the other hand is pinching his nose so he doesn't have to smell the burning flesh. And he aims again at that pipe that is wrapped around his ginormous friend. I'm going to take aim. I'm going to shoot with advantage. I'm going to miss
Okay.
with a 11.
All right.
Burning
Roll
and
a 13.
seared, like there's not that much difference really.
I disagree.
Didn't you roll an 11 plus your attack modifier? Which is, I guess it's,
It was
oh, yeah,
it was a
it's-
skew. It was the die was
all
a
right.
little.
Hey,
we're all gonna die. I'm gonna die.
We're
anyway.
going to die here.
So it can attack, but it has
It
disadvantage.
cannot attack. No,
It cannot
it's
attack.
incapacitated, so it can't take any actions.
Okay. All right. So,
But it saves at the end of its turn.
well, that saves, that probably saves, someone from going down. But Colton, you're up. This thing is still kind of shaking, the steam escaping it as it makes this almost laugh-like sound of like a teapot.
That's better. Recklessly, Colton smashes down with that maul. He's not trying to escape that pipe. He's just fucking wailing on it.
Good thing you can reroll.
Yeah. Is it all 4 or just
You're supposed to roll the two dice for the maul separate from the 2 dice from the berserk.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that's why I gave you color coded.
Oh, yeah, I switched them out. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Well, the red was the
Sure. Yeah.
berserk.
Or the maul. The maul is what you can reroll.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weapon damage is what you can reroll.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, then I couldn't have re-rolled those.
It's all right.
10, 15, 17, 25
25. That's a big hit.
with the maul.
You bring this maul down right on the center, on the top of that stove, which I'm sure you've wanted to do at work before, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I probably have come down on the stove
Yeah,
with something.
one day when he walks into work with the maul, walking down the stairs, it's like, fuck.
And the weirdest thing happens. You expect that reverberation of hitting a giant solid piece of iron, but instead the maul goes right through it, like flesh, like jello, as this thing splatters. When that maul hits it, it just splatters into goo, the entire thing. The part that was around you just kind of oozes off of you as this very dark red, almost black ichor just explodes onto the kitchen floor.
What the?
The joke wasn't that good.
Oh, my leg!
There's this, viscera everywhere, and it's all steaming from the heat of the oven.
You all right, my friend?
Oh,
Bootstraps, old fellow.
no, it hurts.
You
You can walk it off.
Locke, you've got a pretty
No.
nasty gash
yeah.
across
Yeah.
your chest as well.
I'm gonna check out. I'm trained in medicine, so I'm gonna check
Oh.
Colton's leg.
Chop it off.
I got a 6.
You got to chop it off.
I'm just kind of grabbing his thigh.
Not that I would suggest using it for this, but cool new feature for fighters. You can use your inspiration, not inspiration. You can use your second wind to add to a skill check.
wow.
Which
Okay.
is pretty
That's cool.
cool. Yeah, probably not worth it right now, but
That's a
just so you know.
D10 plus level, right?
Yeah. So that's it's a big bonus.
That would not help improve my 6 medicine on.
It's burnt pretty bad.
Yeah.
There's a little. You start picking out little pieces of.
darling, that's just
little pieces of fabric.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's like it's embedded.
that light spell. You refresh it or recast it, and just to kind of light up everything. But
I
it's
paid
the
no
only
mind.
light between the two rooms that you're in. It's the only light.
Let's see if we can find you something for that, old boy.
Oh,
Locke is like holding his chest.
I think we got solved, but it's out in the wagon.
it's okay.
Yeah.
You can walk it off, Colton.
Yeah, it's gonna be slow. I'm gonna be a little slow.
Here you go, Colton. Locke pulls out like a piece of hardtack, like rations, and hands it to you. Something for the spirit.
Maybe there's some. Oh, speaking of spirits, maybe there's something potable in the dining room.
Oh, you know what?
That would help with
Yeah.
the pain. He kind of takes that hardtack and puts it in his mouth, and he just kind of starts like sucking on
Yep.
it.
Quieter, Colton. Now, what is this bizarre place? These things that made of organic material?
Yeah, that was metal.
Yes.
And then it's goo.
Real squishy now. I wonder if those armor suits are the same. I wonder if we smash those would just turn to liquid too.
I wonder if this whole blasted place isn't some
If we
living
burn
organism.
down the whole manor, maybe it'll just turn to goo, and then
And then the
then
treasure
the
will just
treasure be right there.
sit right there in the middle.
I went to the bathroom, and you guys decided to burn the whole place down.
I'm
We
Jake,
should,
Can
honestly.
I don't know, roll Arcana or something to? Do I think these are illusions or are they?
That sounds like Arcana.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I got 9.
Jack of all. What is that? That's your total 9.
Yeah, 9. That's Jack.
Oh, you're skilled with Arcana, I assume, though.
Jack of all trades with Arcana.
Do you have it as a
No.
trained skill?
No.
Yeah, you're not sure. You've never encountered anything like this.
Yeah,
What you do know, just logically, is that they're not constructs.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Locke
Based on your spells working.
is basically an illusionist. So
They're not illusions.
Yeah.
Very much like you kind of lift a boot and there's
Yeah.
slime on
Right.
it, and you're like, nah.
well, if these are illusions, they're masking their real form, but they're also not constructs. They are something else entirely.
yeah, they're goo.
Yeah, Colton's sucking on that piece of hardtack. They're definitely real.
For sure.
Perhaps we should find you something for that leg. And that cut, quite gruesome. And he's
I'll
pulling
Oh.
up the collar of his
Oh,
jacket.
did you get
I'll be
cut too,
right.
Locke?
I'll be all right.
Oh,
Stiff upper lip and
that
all.
looks kind of nasty.
Let's take a look at this piano. Maybe have a look around.
You gonna play a stew song for us?
No stew song. It made me Colton lose his mind a bit.
Colton, big fellow.
Huh?
Would you like to come with me? Perhaps we can get you something to wrap your leg. And he points to a door, and it leads to, he says, the servants' quarters should be right through here.
Oh, okay.
Come with me.
I'll start limping after you.
And Rye knows what to look for. He is.
Locke and I'll check the dining room for some potables.
Splitting the party. Now that we
Again.
know the mansion is safe.
Exactly.
The two enemies have been defeated. We killed the bosses.
Yeah.
Nice.
Let's loot the place and go home.
Love it. Okay. Let's start with the so 2 of you are going to the dining room and the other 2 are going to the servants' quarters. Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Which would
So-
make sense. Probably both coming out of the kitchen too.
Yeah.
Or-
In fact, there's another door in the kitchen and it leads directly into the dining room. So you all walk into the dining room and then there's probably multiple doors, and the servants' quarters are downstairs. You go down a set of stairs to the servants' quarters, and the other 2 go to the dining room.
Just scream if you need any help.
Who's in the dining room?
If you hear a musket shot, come running.
Locke and
Locke and-
Annabelle.
and
Locke
Annabelle.
and Annabelle. Okay. The 2 of you enter the dining room. the centerpiece of this room is a 20-foot long red mahogany table.
Should we just shoot that table now, or
Maybe.
Around the
we
table
can't take it with us?
Around the table are a dozen chairs, each carved to represent a different animal or monster. Along one wall are tall picture windows that look out over the gardens behind the house. You can see that full moon hanging behind some trees. And along the other wall is an enormous abstract painting. It's just a bunch of lines of different colors and spheres of different colors and patterns and shapes.
Now, what's that doing? That ain't art. What's that doing on the wall?
It's quite beautiful. If you look at it, you can see that the lines are discordant, but the colors themselves bleed through.
John, why don't you give me an Arcana check this time? Because of your foppish nature, I'll give you advantage.
My fop roll. Advantage.
Advantage.
So 13 or what? So 13.
A 13. Okay. The painting shows a bunch of spheres, and you think that they represent the different spheres of magic.
Okay.
There's a bunch of runes that you think are arcane, and then a bunch of weird sort of lines that intersect and cross and create this elaborate pattern. And they all seem to point back to one sphere. You think that if you studied this long enough, you could probably unravel a spell. Like a wizard could probably like copy this into a spell book and cast a spell from it. But unfortunately, 13 does not actually make the roll. So you're not sure what exactly it is. And more importantly, you're not sure what school of magic that sphere that it's all pointing back to is.
Yeah.
But you know enough about magic to just know without making the roll that what this is.
This is quite intriguing. These are all schools of magic, though. I'm not really sure what the artist was interpreting as each. I think that one is arcane, maybe illusion here, but not sure.
Yeah, but there ain't any horses or bowls of fruit. Like, how is that even art?
Bowls of fruit and horses.
Yeah.
This is high art. This is what the rich put in their buildings to feel as if they are more intelligent than everyone else and understand art better than anyone else. Except they probably didn't understand exactly what this was.
It's probably worth a lot of money.
I am going to touch it and cast Identify on it. It takes a minute, though.
Okay. You start casting a spell. Meanwhile, Colton and Johan make your way down this tight, winding staircase. These like the castle stairs, that tight stone circle just kind of goes around and around. Those fancy gas lantern sconces are quickly replaced with torches, which are not lit. And as you come down, you go through cobwebs and kick up a lot of dust, which makes you think no one's been down here in a very long time.
Could I light one of these torches?
Absolutely.
I take out a little tinder box. One or two strokes and I light it. Well, the torches still work.
You light the torch just as the two of you get to the bottom of the stairs and into this the servants' quarters. They are not very nice. Cobblestone sort of floor and walls, like a basement, and like half walls separating different servant quarter like rooms. Essentially, these walls are about 4 feet high. So Johan, you can barely kind of peek over them. But Colton, you're just kind of looking around and you can see these half-size walls separate all these little bedrooms. You see little cots and trunks for people's belongings.
Colton's like leaning on his flail, using it as like a little bit of a support as he's like coming down those stairs, limping on that, seared leg.
Keep up. We'll find you something.
You really think it looks dirty down here?
It is, but servants are meant to keep supplies.
Why don't you guys give me investigation rolls?
Do you think like the beds are alive?
Shh. I got a 24.
Wow.
18 on the dice.
Jeez.
I got an 8.
Okay. 24.
I have expertise in investigation.
Oh,
I have an
okay.
eye for detail.
So you, Colton, it's kind of interesting to watch him work because it's almost like he knows exactly where he's going. He goes into one of these little rooms. He kind of just looks around and then he pushes one of these little boxes that you would, like a chest. He pushes it over and then with his boot lifts up a loose cobblestone. And you see under that loose cobblestone, you see a small leather satchel, little small leather pouch.
I thought you said that you hadn't been here before. How did you know that was there?
I've been in many places like this, my friend. The masters of the house keep secrets.
Wait, so rich people have all the same house?
In a way, actually, yes. You can find the same things. They're all the same.
You pick up that bag and just jingle it. It's got coins in it or something.
Right into the pocket.
And then the torch goes out. It's pitch black. Upstairs, the two of you are looking at this painting. You cast this spell. There's no magic.
I'm gonna look for the booze.
It's not magical.
Okay.
And as you're finishing the spell, as you're saying, you're still looking at the painting. You say, I'm going to look for the booze. You turn around. The table is gone. The 20-foot mahogany table.
I don't believe
is
this
gone.
is actually magical. There's a spell in here, but it is not magical in and of itself. But it is worth a lot of money. Block starts to take out his dagger and starts to cut around the edge of the frame.
Lock table's gone.
What do you mean it's gone?
No, it's gone. It went away.
What? He looks back.
The table is gone.
He's half, with the knife half in the painting. Well,
You
that's
see-
quite odd.
You see just the rug that was under it. You see 13 chairs sitting around it, all carved with different animals and monsters.
Well, I do say we hurry up, and he starts to go back to his job of cutting the painting out, and then rolls it up if he has time.
You keep cutting it out.
Yeah.
All right.
Just keep an eye out, okay? Keep that musket of yours trained on those chairs. They might dance around or something.
Well, I can't shoot the table anymore, so
Maybe the table is the
Let me shoot all
invisible
the-
horseman.
shoot all
Ryan, why don't you give me a perception?
perception, wisdom, right? Yeah.
Wow.
21.
Nat
Nah.
20. You count your ammunition pretty meticulously. So, counting small numbers is pretty easy for you. There was 12 chairs before. And as you're looking at them, you remember there was 5 on each side and then 1 on each end.
Mm-hmm.
And there is now 6 on the side closer to you.
I shoot the extra chair.
You know which one is the extra chair.
Yep.
Roll to hit.
This
Take
could get
advantage.
multiple gold. This the right buyer could.
25.
All right, you roll damage. Meanwhile, downstairs, it goes black.
Hey, what was you turning the light out for?
12.
You don't hear anything. You don't see Rye. He doesn't respond as to not give away his position. But right now he is ducking. He's making
Okay.
himself small.
Hello? This isn't funny.
I'm going to start moving towards the door that we came in as quietly as I can.
Hold on.
Okay. Please let me get out.
You just got attacked and I rolled a 20.
Oh, boy.
Rye, you take 16 points of damage.
Yep.
Is that enough?
Oh,
to
yeah.
Put you down?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to roll on the chart because I'm just going to say you're
It's a very specific
you're
injury.
sneaking, and that the hand holding the torch all of a sudden you feel the torch writhe in your hand, and you feel a sharp pain in your hand. You probably holding the torch in your offhand, whether it's left or right, I don't know, but your offhand. So
he's a lefty.
All right, so your right hand is essentially unusable now. And you can reset your hit points. What do you think this? Do you lose the hand? Do you? You feel teeth bite into your hand.
I think it's it's this
Paralytic.
Poison venom, and he like whips his hand down and like it's just a snake.
Feels like it.
Yeah, he whips this thing and tries to like get it off his hand, and instantly it's just like these like pins and needles, and then there's no feeling whatsoever.
You hear Colton. You hear this yelp, and then after you hear the yelp, you hear things moving. Lots of things moving down here. You're not sure what, but you hear things scampering around in the dark.
Oh, I don't like that.
The only light is the light coming from the stairs leading up.
Mama always said go to the light.
And where's your mother now?
Waiting for me.
Locke and Annabelle, give me initiative rolls.
15 for Locke.
Double tens, so that'd be 12.
Okay. Locke, you're first. So he and then what your dex 18, right, Ryan?
Yep.
So you'll go next, and then the chair will go if it's still alive. But you shoot the chair. This chair is carved with a creature that you have never seen before. You just see along the top, the back of the chair, you see a row of eyes, and then carved into the wood. And then along the seat of the chair, you see teeth carved into the wood. And you shoot the back of the chair, you blow a hole right through the back of it, and it just unceremoniously falls down. But then the legs of the chair start moving, and it stands up. And Locke goes.
Locke spins his dagger in his hand and kind of looks like he throws it, and this shooting star comes out of it towards the chair. He's going to cast Starry Wisp at it. That's just a cantrip.
What a bard name for a spell.
Starry Wisp.
Starry Wisp. You have to say it. Starry Wisp.
I throw my wisp.
Wisp.
That's a 23.
That's a hit.
7 points of radiant damage, and it glows a dim light for 10 feet.
Cool.
Okay.
Fabulous.
So that the Starry Wisp sticks into the back of the chair and stays there and is glowing.
It's a flare.
It's like a Halo sticky grenade.
Annabelle.
Yeah. I'm gonna shoot the chair again. Oh,
Is it a crit?
it's a
Oh, a 1?
Yeah, 1. Yeah.
Oh.
Not worth using that.
You have
So
luck,
that's a
don't you?
miss.
I do have luck. Yeah.
Yeah, you can reroll.
20.
That's a hit.
16.
That'll do it. You you actually, like, the chair's moving kind of slowly, and you like kick it over and then shoot right through like the seat, like right through the center of the seat, and it just shatters into splinters of wood, which then turn to chunks of flesh,
Well, that was quite interesting.
and it is dead.
Was it pretend to be a table and then decide to be a chair?
Downstairs, Colton, you see something large move past the light of the door.
Up behind me.
No, I'm sorry, the light of the stairs, where the light, you just see something scamper
where
by.
you're going towards.
Okay.
And then Johan, you were really close to the stairs. You got bit by a snake or something, and then what do you do?
I guess the guy with the light spell should have been the one that went to the basement.
So many ways to make light.
Yeah.
You're like, I just attack people and
Yeah.
make light.
Johan's going to get out of there.
You could have attacked one of them with Starry Wisp, and then they could have done it.
Until my next turn.
Johan is getting out of there.
Yep.
All right.
I can disengage, so I do my I do the Fremen walk
Yep.
through the darkness.
Awesome.
And then just like a couple of bounds, very, very agile. I have a climbing speed, so
Ooh.
even like steep, winding stairs are not a problem for me.
Colton, what are you doing?
Backing up out of the room.
Out of the room?
Yeah.
Come on, old boy.
So
Time to go.
you're leaving as well?
Yeah.
All right. You are going to take a couple attacks of opportunity on your way out.
Okay.
You're not reckless or anything, though.
Nope.
So
I'm not raging either.
yeah.
Keep up.
What is you're wearing a breastplate?
Yeah.
Okay. Both miss.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah. You feel something clunk against your breastplate. That's Josh. All right, hold on. All right, they both miss. You feel something clunk against your breastplate. It sounds like wood just bonk hitting your chest, and then something else like swipes and you kind of duck and it swipes above your head. And as you make your way to the stairs and out of there, you see something else crawl past you in the darkness, and you swear it's a bed. And you make your way upstairs. You make your way back into the dining room where you see the two of them standing over chunks of flesh on the ground, and that huge table is gone.
Already loading up, are we?
What did you find, my friends? Anything worth? Anything of value?
Dirty servants' quarters, but we thought it best to work from bottom to top.
Now that you're in the light, you look at your hand, and
It's in my pocket.
Oh, okay. All
As
right.
everyone is, as we're in front of everyone.
I think there was like a dog or something down there. I heard it yelp, and then there was a bed that wanted me to take a nap, but I'm not tired.
Rye raises an eyebrow at Locke.
Tired, yes. Well, I certainly found my my fair share of valuables. Look at this.
No magical chickens either.
He shows you this wrapped up, like cut out piece of art. It's worth something. Something. It's very valuable.
It's shapes. There's a bunch of shapes.
You just don't understand
There's
it,
circles and
Annabelle.
lines.
Fascinating. It looks very delicate. Would you like me to hold on to that?
it's a Kandinsky.
No. It'll be fine.
Where's like a horse with like natural musculature? That's what I'm looking for.
You need to appreciate things.
Annabelle's definitely a horse girl.
I appreciate
Weird horse girl.
things
I
that are
appreciate proper musculature.
You look at Colton when you say that.
well, we all appreciate proper musculature.
And you look at Colton when you say that.
And Colton's just standing off to the
Colton's
side.
just like deadlifting chairs.
Yeah, he's like he's looking down at his leg, but like he's looking at the injury, but he's got all the pressure on the ball of his foot, so all of the muscles are just flexed up and tense, and he's just rotating it around, looking at it.
It's glistening.
But he's got his back to you.
I'm formulating a song as we speak.
The golden calf.
I'll turn around. I kind of smell like chicken.
Well, do not eat yourself, Colton. We still need you to.
That's dumb. You hear how stupid he is? Eating myself. Oh, man.
Well, nothing of note in the basement then.
No, but strange happenings. It seems the lights went out again.
I heard about a bed and a dog.
That I cannot attest to, but what I can say is that for one moment my torch was lit, and then the next it was not.
Well, it seems my services will be needed, so maybe we stick together a bit more.
Yes, I believe things are not as they appear in this house.
You don't say. Good Rye. I did not understand. Whatever do you mean? It seems such a normal mansion.
Listen, I'm getting hungry, okay?
I cast Vision Mockery.
Still no indication of where the secret entrance into this treasure room might be. But as the four of you talk, you make your way back to that main hall with all the doors that lead into all these separate rooms. And when you get into that main hall, you look down the hall and the armor is all gone. You look the other way, and the door is gone. The door to the exit.
I told you we should have smashed the armor.
And that is where we will stop.
Oh, right.
Guess we're staying for dinner.
We are dinner.
That's nasty.
Couple kind of bookkeeping notes for this game. So I told you guys we're doing a little house rule with damage because this game there's not going to be any opportunity for long or short rests. So just keep that in mind. But also the way that damage is going to work, you're not going to have any hit dice to spend. There's John has like one tiny heal, but other than that, you guys are pretty much without healing. But here's what happens. If you hit 0 hit points, you're going to roll a d20. I've got a cool chart here, and something bad, very bad is going to happen to you. Then you're going to bounce back and come back up to full hit points. So imagine in all those like horror movies when our heroes just keep getting like, fucking hands chopped off and, gut shot, and they just power through it and keep going. And by the end of it, they're just a bloody mess and they wander out of the cave and like, into the road.
So you're saying we're going to make it out alive?
One of you has to be the final girl.
Well, I can't sprout wings and fly away. So.
Yeah.
You could do that at level 4.
Yeah.
You sure? I thought it was 5.
It's 3, I think.
Okay. What else did I want to say? So that's the big thing that I want to kind of try out. So basically this chart has like mechanical effects and location, but I'm going to kind of leave it up to you guys to describe how your injuries occur when they occur. So, spoiler, expect pretty high damage output from enemies.
Oh boy.
Because I want to roll on the chart.
I rolled a 3 and a 1 on 2 of my dice.
I love it. You're gonna have way more fun. Also, I'm imagining this as like your typical horror movie. So I think it's more fun if you play kind of stupid trope characters that do dumb shit.
Yeah, sure.
Not gonna lie. And for those listening at home, if there are listeners at home, this is our very first game of 2024 Dungeons and Dragons, as in the new player's handbook. So we're learning these rules. Two people at the table have made their own characters, and I made pre-gens for the other ones. So if you're wondering why the Dungeon Master's like, no, that's not how your rule works, that might be why.
Jake's also been on the boards online.
I've been on the boards. I've been
the
reading that
birds.
book a lot.
Been to the Reddit.
Birds.
Can I say one thing about this book that only I appreciated, and my 3-year-old daughter also appreciated? She got the joke. So this picture is a picture of the characters from the D&D cartoon.
We're on page 32.
All right.
Yep.
And there's
those looking at home.
a ranger, a barbarian, a monk, and a wizard there. But the little description says, traveling explorers Hank, Bobby, Sheila, Diana, and Presto stand on the threshold of their next adventure. The missing one that they name in there but isn't in the picture is Sheila. And in the cartoon, Sheila has a cloak of invisibility.
Awesome. Cool. That's awesome.
So I said, I said, where's Sheila? And Luna goes, she's invisible? I was like, yep.